everyone, at 1995 here in the video game fanfiction plot with a new chapter for you all of Rock of Steel. I do hope you enjoy it, and remember, I do not own the Transformers Prime series or any music within this video, and I give full credit to its author HaleyMoss on Wattpad.
Chapter 14, Metal Attraction. Ella POV. Today was better than it has been, knowing that I will always have my grandma with me wherever I am. Thankfully today was Saturday and I didn't have to deal school besides the 2 days of homework I have. The teachers told my parents I could as long as I want to finish it. Knowing me, I'll have it done before Monday. It's time to go back to base. I into the bathroom and straighten my hair and put on a little makeup. I walked over to my closet, got out a pair of jeans and put them on with a black tank top with a grey sparkle tank top to go over it, also my blue and black high top DCs. I grabbed my backpack with extra clothes just in case, my phone and wallet. I walked out of my room and hit Maiko's door with my flattened hand and said, "Hurry up, Maiko, Magnus and I are going to be you to bed if you don't hurry up. I know you're in there." I heard shuffling and then she said, "No way dude, I am about to walk out the door." Haha, yeah right. No you're not, Maiko, you're still in bed. See ye on the road. If you can catch us or keep up. I told her as I walked downstairs. I walked out the door and into Magnus's passenger door. "Good morning Ella, how are you doing?" Magnus asked me. "I am doing better Magnus, how are you?" I asked. "I'm good, I was just worried about you. I had never seen you leak lubricant out of your optics," Magnus said. "Oh Magnus, it's called tears or crying. It only happens in times of sadness," I told him. "Oh I see. I do not like when you do this crying, it makes me feel like I can't do anything to help you," Magnus said. "It's okay, I'm just glad that you stayed with me and comforted me, that's all you could do and all that I needed," I told him. "Well then you're welcome," Magnus said. Once we arrived at base I saw that Jack and RC were already there. PSH. Early birds. Ratchet was doing something on the computer as always. I didn't see Optimus though. Once I hopped out, Magnus transformed. HOT. Hot. RC, Ultra Magnus. A vehicular form is approaching. Ratchet said. We all focused on the huge computer screen. "Decepticon?" RC asked. As the car became more focused on the screen, Jack huffed and said, "Mum." "Again?" RC asked, amused. "She worries," Jack stated. As we all saw Jack's mum June pull up, she gets out of the car and says, "Hi honey." To Jack. Hi." Jack says and June gives him a hug. I finished my shift early at the hospital so I thought I would swing by. "Good to see you again doctor," June says to Jack and turned and said to Ratchet. Ratchet just nodded his head in her direction. "RC, Ultra Magnus, Ella. She always says to us." Magnus and RC nodded while I just waved. "So where is Optimus?" June asked. I wonder why. On a scouting mission with Bumblebee. "Sorry to disappoint," Ratchet told her. "And I wore heels and everything," June said. "OMG. Did she just?" "Oh no she didn't." I looked up at Magnus, who had the expression of, "Hey, you're dating a Autobot, why can't she?" "I guess he does have me there." "Mum?" Jack exclaimed. "One. That's odd, that's an extreme magnetic flux for any planet," Ratchet said. None of us said anything as to we just thought Ratchet was talking to himself again. Then I saw Bulkhead drive in with Maiko and Raph in too. I saw them get out laughing and saying, "Did you see him on that last turn? Bulkhead is an animal," Maiko said. As her and Raph did this monster claw-like thing. Then I saw them stop as they say June. I saw Maiko's lips moving but I couldn't hear a word she said. "So Maiko, you decided to show up and accept that the second biggest bot here beat your tailpipe to base?" I asked her. "Hey, we weren't racing, we had to pick up Raph, but next time game on," Maiko said. I just laughed. "Don't worry Mrs. Darby, we were wearing seatbelts," Raph told June. "I'm sure you were." Raphael, "Hi Maiko, how's school going?" June asked Maiko. Why? What did you hear? Maiko asked, getting all scared. Let's do this thing, Jack. RC said to Jack. What thing? Can I help? I asked. Sure, why not? RC said. I fist pumped into the air, following RC. Magnus still just stood there. But I just got here. I brought sandwiches. June said to Jack. Ooh, sandwiches, can I have one? Maiko asked. Both June and Jack ignored her. Look, Mom, I really need to help RC update her tracking system. Jack told his mum. We'll just be careful. June said. There's nothing to be careful about. It's a routine diagnostic. RC said. Are you sure that you need Jack or Ella for that? June asked. I was walking behind RC when she just stopped. I had to stop or I was going to run right into the back of her pads. RC huffed out. Uh-oh, Bulkhead said. Bulkhead, I need you to go out into the field to investigate a magnetic disturbance. Ratchet said. Cool. I'll go with you, dude. Maiko said as she ran towards the ground bridge. Bulkhead stopped her by putting a hand out in front of her and saying, Whoa, stay put, Maiko. Maiko huffed and walked over to where June and Raph were standing. I was standing a little to the side of RC. And why aren't you going with him? June asked Maiko. Someone thinks it's not safe. Maiko told June. Seriously, June is about to go overboard on this. But it's safe for Jack and Della to go with RC? June asked. Mom, totally different. Jack told his mum. Oh, how? June asked. As Jack and June were talking, Maiko and I got closer to the ground bridge. Mom knows best, Jack. Wait up, Buckhead, I'm going with. RC said. They both went through the ground bridge as we did after them. Once we all were through the ground bridge, Maiko and I followed quietly behind Bulkhead and RC. Don't take it personally, RC. Jack's mother is just protective. Bulkhead told RC. Well, I protected her son for weeks before she ever had a clue. Suddenly she wakes up to reality and I'm not in ought. RC told Bulkhead. No kidding. Maiko and I say at the same time. Then Bulkhead and RC turned towards us. Can't we ban her from the base? Maiko asked. Well, I wasn't going to go as far as say that, but June could lighten up a bit. Maiko, Ella, how did you? Bulkhead went to ask, but RC comed base saying I'm going to need a bridge. Both Maiko and I ran forward. I put my hands up while Maiko said, no, wait, don't send us back to helicopter, Mum. It's just we miss the way things were. RC looked at us and then at Bulkhead. Scratch that, Ratchet. It's only Recon. Tell Magnus Ella is safe with us. RC told Ratchet from the comm link. They're safe with us. RC said. She turned and started walking while Bulkhead picked us up and set us on either side of his shoulders. Saw it, crank up track 7, Bulk. Maiko said. Track 7? This can't be good. Track 7? RC asked. Then Bulkhead turns on this loud music that I know is Maiko's style. I cover my ears. Don't you think that's a little loud for Recon? RC asked. Bulkhead turned off the music while Maiko said oh. Then sat back down from her rocking out. Thank you, RC. I said. Maiko just gave me one of her famous glares. A scout should be silent but deadly. RC said. I was trying too hard to keep from laughing, but when Maiko, Bulkhead and I all laughed at each other, I couldn't help but bust out laughing. RC rose her eyebrow at us and said, what? Silent but deadly means something completely different on Earth. Bulkhead said. Like what? RC asked. Well, basically when a human farts and it's silent, it's usually deadly, as in it stinks bad. I told RC. RC just stared at me, but then she said, oh gross, grow up. She must have looked it up. Bulk, let's get out, Recon on. Maiko said. As Bulkhead went in front of RC. But I always take point. RC whined. Yeah, but Maiko likes to be in front so that she can see. Bulkhead told her. No matter where I turn, I'm the third wheel, well in this case the fourth wheel. RC said. "Hey Bulk, can you put me on RC's shoulder?" I asked. Bulkhead nodded as he put me on her shoulder. RC just looked at me funny. "I'll be the third wheel with you, RC," I told her. "Thanks, Ella," she told me. 1. We all walked till we came to a cliff, but not a high one, when Bulkhead said, "Looks like Ratchet's magnetic flu is coming from." Bulkhead didn't finish his sentence since we saw Breakdown and some spider-looking robot duking it out. "Arachnid," RC said while making a fist. "Looks like this arachnid stole RC's blocks in kindergarten." "We live they even had kindergarten. And Breakdown both of your archenemy ''s. And they're smashing it up," Maiko said. "I get it now." And indeed they were smashing it out. "Over that," Bulkhead said. "The source of the magnetic disturbance," RC said. "All right, what's the plan?" Maiko said. "Yeah, what she said," I said. Bulkhead and RC looked at us before putting us down behind these big rocks. "Maiko, don't move." "I mean it." "Ella, please don't move either or the commander will have my tailpipe," Bulkhead told us. I nodded, but Maiko just said "or," while she crossed her arms across her chest. 1. I watched RC shoot the magnetic device away from Arachnid. Arachnid turned towards RC and said, "RC, and look, you brought a new partner for me to snuff." "Oh, that overgrown metal trash can excuse for a spider is going down." I saw Bulkhead launch RC into the air towards Arachnid. RC came in blasters ablazing. I saw Breakdown head for RC, but Arachnid got in front him and said something. Then Breakdown got a smack to the face from Bulkhead. "Go Bulkhead." Bulkhead and RC were back to back when Maiko said, "Whoa, they're good together." I nodded my head. "Smackdown for the scrapbook," Maiko said as she pulled out her phone and took some snaps. I saw RC knock Arachnid so hard that she smashed into Breakdown, knocking them both down. Breakdown then picked up the magnetic device and pushed a button, making it glow a light orange. "Do you even know what that does?" Arachnid asked him. "It isn't a toy," she said as she ran away. RC started to shoot at her and go after her. Then I saw Maiko's phone go towards Breakdown and her say hey. I tried to grab it but I couldn't. Soon RC and Bulkhead started being dragged towards Breakdown. It was the magnetic device. Soon RC and Bulkhead were lifted into the air and blasted backwards into rocks. Maiko and I ran towards them. We saw Bulkhead but no sign of RC. "Bulkhead, the comms are getting away." "Hey, there's my phone." "It's stuck," Maiko said. "Where's RC?" Bulkhead asked. "Why don't you just marry her?" Maiko exclaimed. "Jealous Maiko." I teased her. She just rolled her eyes at me. "I'm right behind you." I hears RC say, "But I don't see RC." "Where?" Bulkhead asked. "Let's just say she's got your back," Maiko said. "What are you talking about, Maiko?" I asked. Bulkhead turned and then I saw what Maiko was talking about. RC and Bulkhead were stuck back to each other. RC tried to get free, then finally said scrap. Maiko and I tried pulling on RC's pee to see if we could pull them apart. Only we just weren't strong or big enough. "You've been magnetized?" "Together?" Ratchet said through the comm link. "They're practically inseparable," Maiko said. "And the device that did this is on its way to Megatron," Bulkhead said. "A polarity gauntlet, deceptively simple but diabolical equation," Ratchet said. "Just tell me you can unhitch us, Ratchet," RC said. "Wow, they do sound married." "It may be a resonant charge that is causing your current attraction," Ratchet said. "Hi Ratchet, did you just make a joke?" I asked. "No, I did not tell her," Ratchet said back to me. I just frowned. "Fine then, you old Docbot," I told him. "I am not old and don't call me Doc," Ratchet said. "They're not attracted to each other," Maiko said. "Ha, and she said she's not jealous." "Liar, liar pants on fire." "But our best option is to get the gauntlet back to reverse the effect on you two," Ratchet said. Ratchet was saying something but I wasn't listening. I was trying to come up with a plan. So I'll take point. I heard Maiko say. Not this hitting kid. RC said. But you said. Maiko tried. That was recon. This is war. I'm not risking your life just so you can hit your daily adrenaline quota. Ratchetella and Maiko need a bridge. RC said. Coming up. Ratchet said. You think Jack's mom is bad? You sound just like her. Maiko said. Oh boy. Soon a ground bridge opened up and Maiko and I went right through. Come on Maiko, you got to go on recon and take snaps of some action. We can't fight giant bots, you know that we will get hurt. What do you think Bulkhead would think if you got hurt? I told and asked Maiko. That he would be blaming himself if I got hurt. Maiko said with her head hanging low. I patted her on the back as we were back at the base. Maiko went up the stairs to sit on the couch while I walked down the hall towards Magnus's room. I saw him sitting at his desk, so I quietly snuck under his desk by his pads. I found a rock in my shoe and decided to see if I could fool him. I took out the rock and pulled my arm back as it would go and threw the rock out into the hallways. It made a small clank against the wall. I guess Magnus noticed I saw his legs get up from the desk and walk into the hallway. I then went over to this berth and tried to climb up it, but it was too tall. I was still trying to climb up it when I heard Magnus say, "Ella, what are you doing and when did you get in here?" He saw me struggling, so he helped me onto his berth. I sat with my legs crossed, then I said, "Oh, when you were sitting in your desk, I threw the rock that made that noise that you went to go and check out." I told him. "Oh Ella, what am I going to do with you?" Magnus said. "Well, you could let me put a TV in here and us watch a movie." I told him. "How would you do it?" Magnus asked. "Well, I could ask my parents to buy a big one and have my dad install it in your room." I told him. "Oh, I see," Magnus said. I was just about to say something else when I heard the ground bridge sound. "Wow, RC and Bulkhead done already? Hey, let's go see if RC and Bulkhead are unstuck yet." I told Magnus. He just looked at me funny. He must not have been in the room when Ratchet was explaining. So Magnus picked me up and put me on his shoulder. We walked into the main part of the base where the others were, except of course Optimus and B. I saw Bulkhead hand Maiko back her phone. They even finish each other's sentences. Maiko said. "Still jealous, I see, Maiko." I said. "Dude, stop it already." Maiko said. "RC." Jack said. "Jack lets the adults talk." "RC, I think I owe you an apology." June said to RC. RC arched her brow and said, "You do? I worry especially when I feel like I can't control things." Which with a teenager is all the time. Jack and I have always been close, especially after his dad left, and I guess it's hard to accept that all that has changing. I mean, I knew it would someday, but you're not the type of girl I thought Jack would be ditching me for. June explained. "I think we've all been guilty about the way things were," RC said. We all smiled at each other. "Hey Magnus, can you take me home?" I was thinking I could see if Dad could take me to the store to pick out a TV and maybe bring it back tomorrow. I told Magnus. He nodded and transformed back into high semi-blue with red. I hopped into the passenger seat as he started drive. I asked. "Magnus, were you born blue and red? Or did you scan those as you did your vehicle form?" "I was born this way. Do you not like it?" Magnus asked. "No, I love it. I was just wondering. Also, are you and Optimus related?" I asked. "No, we were born from different carriers, or parents as you would say," Magnus said. "Well, it's just that you and Optimus are kind of the same color and you all are both shaped the same way." I was just wondering. I told him. "I think of Optimus as someone that I would call my brother," Magnus said. It was only 4 p.m. I know, but I wanted to get to the store before it closed. It would be closed tomorrow. Once we arrived home, I hopped out and ran into the house to find Dad sitting at the table drinking coffee. "Hey Dad, I was wondering if you could buy a TV for Magnus and I to watch at the base." The one that's there is usually overrun with Jack, Maiko, and Ruff. They usually play video games. I told my dad. Sure, why not? I'll even put in a DVD player to go with. Dad said. Thanks Dad, you are so awesome. I said. Thanks Princess. Well, we better get going if we want to get one before they close. Dad said. I nodded and we went out to the squad SUV and hopped in. Once at a TV store we picked out a 70 flat screen TV. I couldn't believe Dad was actually going to buy it. But he said it was cause the bots were so big and so was the base, then bought the DVD player. Once we had the TV and Dad player we headed home. Thank you so much Dad. Do you think you could come to base and install it? I asked. Sure, but it will have to wait till tomorrow sweetie, my show is coming on tonight and it's a marathon. Dad said. Okay, that's fine. And what show? I asked. Cops. Dad said. I shook my head and said of course. I said. I walked back outside and got back into Magnus' passenger side. So what do you want to do, Magnus? I asked. What is there to do? Magnus asked. Well, it's Saturday night, we could go to the drive-in movies tonight if you wanted. I asked. Okay, lead the way. Magnus said. I hopped into the driver's side and we were off. I pulled into the drive-in and paid, then parked in a spot close to the screen. I turned the radio station to which it was supposed to be on. Magnus' hollow form appeared and he wrapped his arm around me. Then as Magnus and I were wrapped in each other's arms, the movie that happened to be playing was Fast and the Furious 7. I bet Magnus will enjoy this as much as I will. Plus.
Well, that's the ending of that chapter. I do hope you enjoy this video. If you like to see more, remember to hit that like button, subscribe to this channel and leave a comment down below. Until next time.